Good morning, Ian Crouch with your 8:30 Hunter News update. Emergency services are at the scene of a two-vehicle crash at Mayfield, with one of them on fire. Newcastle Fire Command says a crew from Mayfield West was called to the intersection of Vine and Crebit Streets at 7:30. They arrived to find a vehicle fully involved in fire. Luckily, no one was trapped in the car and no one's been injured. Firefighters are patrolling a bushfire which has burnt out more than 12 hectares at Anna Bay. The blaze broke out just before 3:30 yesterday afternoon off Fisherman's Bay Road and quickly took hold in high temperatures, sending a pall of smoke over several Newcastle and Lake Macquarie suburbs. Crews had the fire under control by 10 last night. However, crews have been called back to the area in the last hour, where a fresh outbreak has occurred to the south of the original blaze off the Fisherman's Bay Powerline Trail. Data from E61 Institute suggests students in disadvantaged areas of the Hunter are less likely to receive education from high-aptitude teachers. The research also highlights a more even distribution of teachers could create more equal learning opportunities across the state. The Institute's Jack Buckley says more research needs to be done to find a solution.
Part of that story is probably going to be about providing more support to those teachers and the development of teachers in those areas. But what I guess is clear from our work is that governments need to be doing more to achieve this kind of more efficient and equitable distribution of high aptitude teachers.
The federal government has allocated some of the $500 million funding commitment to kickstart work on the proposed high-speed rail project between Newcastle and Sydney. Almost $80 million will be used to get the ball rolling on a business case for the project, which is due for completion by the end of the year. During the coming months, the High Speed Rail Authority will look at several factors, including the proposed alignment of the track, station locations and the type of trains to be used. The business case will also provide a cost estimate and construction timeline for the project, which is expected to cut the travel time between Newcastle and Sydney to less than an hour. Applications for Cessnock City Council's latest round of visitor economy grants are slated to open on Thursday this week. The $25,000 in grants aim to provide financial support to organisations or individuals looking to host events, run projects and hold conferences in the Hunter Valley, with hopes of boosting midweek tourism and increasing the length of visitors' stay in the Cessnock area. Mayor Jay Saval says they've seen the impact the grants can have.
From the almost $100,000 that we've given out over the last 3 rounds of grants, we've seen around $3.7 million worth of extra spend in our local area.
Grant applications are set to close on the 29th of February. School zones are back in force across the Hunter this morning as staff and some students return. Motorists are being advised to check signs while driving and slow down to 40 km per hour in designated zones.
2NURFM Sport.
Hunter F3 driver Christian Mansell is in top form after claiming a race win in New Zealand at the weekend. The 18-year-old is now second overall in the Regional Oceania Championship with 4 podium finishes in 6 starts. He now heads to Bahrain for F3 testing with new team ART Grand Prix. Newcastle Jets international Carl Jenkinson could be out for up to 8 weeks after suffering a groin injury during last week's win over the Brisbane Roar. The 31-year-old English import won't require surgery and hopes to be back on the field in a month. Meanwhile, popular young gun Archie Goodwin will have to bide his time if he's to earn a permanent spot in the starting lineup. Despite playing 35 A-League games since his debut as a schoolboy 3 years ago, the 19-year-old has only played 5 games in the starting 11. Coach Rob Stanton believes the talented striker still has some growing to do and needs more time to overcome a run of injuries. And Newcastle baseballers Lachlan Wells and Rickson Wingrove will line up for the Adelaide Giants this weekend in the best-of-3 final series in the Claxton Shield against the Perth Heat. And the winning numbers in Monday Lotto are 3, 17, 19, 33, 35 and 38, and the supplementaries are 8 and 11. And now you're up to date with the latest 2NURFM Hunter News.